everybody, how's it going? It's me, John Butter, the only YouTuber. The little skeleton inside of him wriggles around, causes a ruckus. Folks, it is Halloween time, so naturally I'm going to talk about Tomi Lahren. If you're not familiar with Tomi Lahren, she is a conservative commentator who works for Fox News. If you go by her Twitter account, she is always outraged 100% of the time. In fact, let me look up her most recent tweet. Let me check. Doing this in real time, folks. Most of us are starting to realize the only thing this tyranny is eradicating is our freedom, not the virus. All of her tweets are like that, 24/7. I know what you're thinking. John, why are you talking about Tomi in regards to the most blessed holiday, All Hallows Eve? Well, every year, Tomi likes to dress up in a different costume, and it's always political. This is the same person who complains whenever award shows or talk shows get too political. She likes to insert politics into what seemingly should be the most politics-free holiday. It's always tacky, and she always gets clowned on for it. So I've made it sort of a game to guess what costume she's gonna go with every year. And this year is no different. So I thought I'd like to share the fun with you, my viewers. But before we can start guessing, we need to go back and take a look at her previous costumes, just to get a sense of how she thinks these things through. Try to find a pattern, a common thread, if you will. Tomi's costume started in 2017 when she went as... Well, I gotta be honest, I'm still not sure what this is. It's a lot, though. It is a lot. It's a lot of American flag print. It's a lot of MAGA. I'm not really sure. And that's not really good. You know, usually when somebody asks what you're going as for Halloween, you should be able to give a specific, concrete answer. There is no name for it. There's no name for that costume. I guess you could say she's going as a patriotic Trump supporter, but she already is that in real life. I mean, I hate to get into semantics, but for Halloween, you're supposed to dress up as somebody other than yourself, not just dress up as an exaggerated version of yourself. A lot of people try to be like, oh, you actually violated the flag code, 31B-C2. And it's like, get that nerd shit out of here. You don't have to look up flag codes in order to criticize this costume. Just say it's tacky. It's tacky. Anyway, the next year, 2018, Tomi dressed up as Kathy Griffin, or specifically the version of Kathy Griffin who posed with the Trump head in the very controversial photo. Yeah, she's got that red hair wig, the blouse, and for some reason, instead of a Trump head, she's holding up a scary clown mask, which a lot of people pointed out, are you trying to call Trump a clown? I don't think she thought that through. But my main thing is, the Kathy Griffin thing happened in May of 2017. This is Tomi's Halloween costume for 2018. That's about 17 months of difference. Too big of a time gap to be topical, not big of a time gap enough to be a throwback. It's like a food item at a restaurant that's somewhere in between 40 and 140 degrees. It's in the danger zone, Tomi. You gotta throw it out. So it's dated, not only in the sense of like a Halloween costume, but also to bring this up a year and a half later is so tacky. That's going to be the word of the day for this video, tacky. By this point, Kathy Griffin has already been put through the ringer for that photo. She caught flack from both liberals and conservatives. She apologized a bunch of times. She got fired from her CNN New Year's Eve special that they do every year in Times Square. To be honest, that doesn't really sound like a punishment to me. Kathy Griffin, I forbid you from standing outside in snowy Times Square, surrounded by 1 million people who are all wearing diapers because they've been camping out all day. No, but yeah, the last thing Kathy needs is someone from Fox News to be like, hey, remember this thing you did a year and a half ago? Yeah, I think she got the point, Tomi. Anyway, next year, 2019, Tomi dresses up as AOC. I'm sensing a lot of you are tensing up. Don't worry, she does not use any makeup to darken her skin tone. But before we give her any praise on that, keep in mind this was in 2019. This was like a month after the Justin Trudeau photos leaked. So it was like fresh in everybody's mind. It would have taken a real numbskull to completely forget about that and still do brownface. Besides, there's a lot of things that Tomi did to make herself look like AOC. There's a dark hair wig. The glasses that aren't necessarily AOC's glasses, but it's still glasses, so I guess it still kind of works. And then she's holding up a folder that says Green New Deal and the Communist Manifesto, because AOC is so communist. I would say the biggest issue is in her Twitter caption, she refers to AOC as a former bartender as an insult. She says, Democratic dimwit darling, socialist-loving, freedom-hating, former bartender. Oh yeah, Tomi. You fucking got her, Tomi. Yo, way to nail AOC for formerly being a waitress and a bartender in order to make sure her mother's house doesn't get foreclosed on. You fucking got her. And everybody called her out on this. They were like, how can you make fun of AOC for being a former bartender? I thought you guys are supposed to be the party of the working class. The party of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. If you don't like your job, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get a better one. And then AOC gets a better job. Not like that! Even Alyssa Milano was able to get a dig in at Tomi. She said, why say bartender like it's a bad thing? And Tomi full-on backpedals. She backpedals so hard that the chain on her bike explodes. But then also just this year, she did the same thing. She referred to AOC as a former bartender in a tweet. Didn't walk it back this time, confirming what we already know. And then last year, she dressed up as Jailbreak from the Emoji Movie. No, she dressed up as like, I guess a rioter or a violent protester, I guess. But she tried to make it sexy with her friends. Antifa, but make it hot. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. She didn't put this one on Twitter because she knew she would get clowned on, but it is worth mentioning. Anyway, now that we've taken a look at Tomi's past costumes, let's put our heads together and think, what will Tomi dress up as this year? Because obviously she's gonna do another costume. What her costumes have in common is that they're all political. Most of them include a wig of some sort, or props, and they're all ridiculously mean-spirited. So for this year, I'm thinking she's gonna want to take a jab at the Biden administration. You know, I'm betting she's still a little bit sour since Trump got voted out. So I'm thinking she might dress up as Kamala Harris. Wouldn't take that much effort to do. She would just need like a dark hair wig and like a pantsuit of some kind or whatever. But also there is a possibility that she could dress up as Jen Psaki, the press secretary. That would be a super easy costume for her, especially if she has the red hair wig. But of course she could always dress up as more of a general type of person rather than a specific person, like last year when she dressed up as a protester. So this year she could dress up as somebody who's terrified of COVID, and it would be a really easy costume. All she would have to do is buy a box of Band-Aids, buy a box of disposable masks, put Band-Aids all up and down her arms, be like, these are all my boosters, and then put the masks all over her face, and her caption could be like, I'm going as a sheeple for Halloween. I'm not saying it's good or funny, I'm saying that's what she would do. Other than that, I really have no other predictions. If you have any ideas, I'd like to hear them. Please sound off in the comments. You can also smash that MF like and subscribe. And you can also check out my Patreon in case you wanted to help support my channel. And you can also click here to win one of my bones. Even this one right here. The fibular. I don't know, Bones. Alright, have a great day, John Butter fandom. Is this even worth doing? Is this video worth doing? Yes.